What's a podcast? I like your show.
Oh, dude, I did. Welcome to the Shipe Sports Show.
Welcome to another episode of the Shipe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Shipe, joined always by my co-host and the best producer out there, Paul.
Yep, thank you. Thank you.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm all right, man.
And joined always my co-host, who's back after taking off 2 weeks ago, Chris Cordova.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back.
And the coach is still out playing golf.
Oh, well, that's what he does.
That's what he
do.
does, yep.
That's what I
you
would
do.
be doing if I had the opportunity.
So we're on episode 48, 2 away from number 50, which me and Paul were just discussing. I think we're going to do something pretty big for number 50. What do you think, Paul?
I think we should. I
As
think
long
it's
as-
appropriate.
As long as we take shots, I'm down.
I think we're going to have a little talk with our sponsors to see what we can get done, which is Buffalo Wings and Beer of Germantown, Maryland. Go in there to enjoy their great wings and beer specials,
When's their
especially
next show?
tonight. What do you mean?
All right, when would be the 50th
I'm trying to
show?
do our sponsor, and you just interrupt that
All
whole
right,
thing.
sorry. Say that
No,
one more time.
go
You know
ahead,
what?
no.
Get the other spot.
No,
Get it.
just what
give
was
him
your
double,
question?
Get double the airtime. Go
All right.
ahead, do it.
Our sponsors always BWB, Buffalo Wings and Beer of Germantown, Maryland, where you can enjoy a great beer selection, great variety of wings, and all your sports needs, especially for the Capitals game. Sits tonight, you can go there and watch it. All right, now what was your question?
I really miss my TV in this room.
I do too.
We could be watching the Caps game.
Well, they don't come on till 8.
It's all right.
So.
We have an hour.
Oh, that's true. That's
We
true.
have an hour. But when would be the 50th show?
I guess 4 weeks, about a month from now.
Okay, so 2 weeks would be the 24th,
Mhm.
and then 2 weeks. Okay, cool.
Why?
June 7th. No, because March 30th, which is in 3 weeks, I'll be in Vegas.
March 30th?
Yeah.
It's- it's
May
we're in
30th.
May.
May
We're in
31st.
May, buddy.
May 31st, I'll be
Yeah,
in May.
wouldn't you hate if you missed another live show
I'll be
again
in
somewhere?
Vegas. Yeah.
Vegas?
I'll be in Vegas, yes, sir.
Can I come?
Yeah. The bachelor party.
Oh, nice.
The more the merrier.
Oh, God.
I don't know if my wife would approve. I've had plenty of bachelor parties out there, and she's just like, okay, well,
Well,
there's no one left.
all I know is that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's
Is that what happens? Is that true?
I wouldn't
Since you've
know. I have no idea what you're talking
been-
about.
Wonderful. That's all I need to know.
I was actually on a bachelor party this past weekend. We went to an Orioles game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was a pretty good game. They won, obviously. So that was
That's
good.
funny.
So today on the show, first we're going to start off talking some Nationals. You know, talk about Steven Strasburg's new contract, Bryce Harper, his little situation that happened last night, and also over the weekend discussing them walking him through a whole complete game. Then from there, we're going to talk some draft recap, talk about the Redskins. I'm going to get some Titans. And then from there, we're going to get right into the Capitals. We're going to end the show with the Capitals that we can take you right up to the game time of 6 o'clock, like normally what we used to do on the Monday night, Thursday Night Football, discuss that game last. So let's get right into it. Chris, go your thoughts first on Steven Strasburg and his contract he just signed.
Well, we were just talking about this a couple minutes before the show started, asking you kind of what you think, and I kind of agree with you. I think this was a win-win for both sides. Strasburg gets to stay with us, and he's getting paid. You know, there's nothing wrong with $175 million over 7 years. I think you're correct that he probably could have got a little more in free agency, but if he believes in this team and if this is the team that he wants to be on, you know, he definitely won in getting that long-term deal. Even though there's an opt-out clause, I think, in year 3 and 4, he wins because he gets paid. We win because we get to keep an ace in our starting rotation. Like I said, it's a win-win. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a win-win for us. I mean, we get him for 7 years. He has an opt-out after 3 and 4, so he'll be a free agent again when he's 31. But I think he's going to be here for the rest of his career, to be honest with you. I think he'll be a Nats for life. And I
Right.
think now, with them giving him that money, to me, that means they have the money for Harper. Because I always thought they would have to choose between the two. I feel like if they're giving him this money,
Yeah,
then
you've said that many times.
Yes,
We
I
have
feel
to make
like
a choice.
But I feel like if they're giving him this money, then they have the money also for Harper. So I have a feeling we may be able to
Right.
keep both these guys around. Now, it's the other people around him who I don't know about. Like, are we going to be able to pay for Rendon and people like that? So right now, our rotation for the next couple of years are going to be Serger Strasburg, Giolito, when eventually he comes up. You're going to have Joe Ross around.
Well, he's got to come up first.
Giolito, yeah. I
Yeah.
think in the next 2 to 3 years, this is going to be your rotation,
Okay.
along with Joe Ross. I think the odd one out that we're going to see leave in a couple of years not only will be Tanner Roark, but I think Gio could be out too sooner or later, in terms of a trade or whatnot. He's having a great year, But, he's has been up and down the past 2 years. If he's having a great half and if you need something desperately at the trade deadline, Gio could be a great bargaining chip. Also, Tanner Rourke. Not saying they're going to get traded. I'm just saying now that you've locked up the top end of your rotation, you can mess around with the bottom half and possibly get some trade bait going on around there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And moving people around, making that money for alleviating some cap space. Well, not cap space because there's really no cap, right? But alleviating their pockets a little bit so they can actually pay the Bryce Harper the ginormous deal he's about to get.
What was it, 175 mil
Mm-hmm.
for 7 years?
For Strasburg,
Yep.
For Strasburg? What's that, like 20?
I think it's like 25 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 a year. It's not bad.
I mean,
I'll take that any day of the
plenty.
week.
Good Lord. I mean, yeah, that's awesome. Do they have like guaranteed money like they do in, like in football?
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
The thing about Strasburg is he's going to get paid even after the 7 years done. They Nationals. What they've done the same thing for Scherzer is they've spread it out for more than just 7 years. So I think
I heard $70 million is after the contract.
Yeah, after the contract's done, so that helps you off the books as well in terms of money. So I mean, it's really going to help them out in the long run the way they've been doing these deals, especially with him and Scherzer.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the reason it's a great deal is because after this year, he was probably going to command at least 200-something million, I believe. He's going to get up there towards that record for starting pitchers, especially with him being 5-0 so far this year.
I was just going to say, if we wanted to lock him up before the year ended, I mean, he's having a great year this year. I would say he's better than Max Scherzer right now, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Honestly, definitely, because Scherzer's been struggling a little bit, so, I mean, that really has been hurting him
and
somewhat.
What is it with Scherzer and just giving up random home runs here and there?
For Scherzer, it's his mechanics right now. He's trying to get his mechanics down, and we've seen in the past when Scherzer starts working on his mechanics, he starts. I'm about to burp for a second. Give me 1 second. It was about to happen. When Scherzer starts, when he starts trying to work on his mechanics, and like during a stretch, he starts giving up these home runs. He did last year too. In the month of August, when we need him the most, his mechanics was off, and you see that he gets off. But now, once he gets his mechanics right, he'll be unhittable, and this rotation will just go back to where the amazing thing it used to be. So that's what it is for Scherzer right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because it's obviously I picked him I think in the first or second round in our draft, the Shipe Sports Talk fantasy baseball draft.
Of course.
But he's really just not living up to the second round draft pick right now. But it's still early, so I'm not worried. I'm not too worried. But when you give up homers pretty much almost every game, it's kind of crazy.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll settle down, and we'll see him where he should be.
All right.
So moving on to national guy number 2, we need to talk about is Bryce Harper. Last night, Harper, he was arguing some questionable calls with the ump, which normal players do, but it seems like, Harper, he wears his emotion on his sleeve a little bit more. So right in the bottom of the ninth, Espinoza got called out on strikes. It was a high pitch. It was a ball anyway, according to the ESPN thing. And there was Espinoza looked back, yelled at the ump, then some yelling came from the dugout in terms of a couple players. For some reason, the umpire pointed Harper out and ejected him. For whatever reason, I think that was uncalled for. If you're having multiple players argue you, especially the guy who just struck out, and then you're going to point to the bench and send that guy out. So the very next batter, Clint Robinson, Stephen A. Smith. His name is Clint Robinson, not Cliff. Clint. Stephen A. called him Cliff on first take. Dude, you work at ESPN you do sports for a living, and you're going to confuse a guy whose name is on the teleprompter right on the thing on the TV. It says Clint Robinson, and he says Cliff Robinson. Like, dude. First off, I can't stand that show to begin with anymore. Thank God Skip is leaving.
I was just going to say, but how many names have you mispronounced on this show?
True, but they weren't right in front of my face. They weren't in front of my face.
All right.
And mine is more, I know who the players are. I just can't pronunciate. He literally just said Cliff.
All right.
So anyway, the next batter, Clint Robinson, hit a home run. Harper, who I'm assuming hadn't really cleared out all the way yet, came back, ran on the field, and then looked at the ump and said F you towards the umpire. Blatant day. The problem was it's caught on camera. If the camera had not zoomed in on Harper or anything like that, it probably would have been brushed aside. No one would have known this would happen, and it would have been gone. The only person that would have read up a report would have been the umpire saying, hey, this guy told me this. But the thing is, Paul, I'll show you this. You can literally see him mouth the word F you.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw it. It was, I don't know.
So now speculation is, what's going to happen with Harper. Obviously, I think he'll get a fine. I don't think he should get suspended because honestly, a lot of people don't see what goes on. I guarantee some of these umps get cursed out worse than what Harper did there.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think he's gonna get. I don't think he's gonna get.
Yeah, but you see,
nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you see, managers also do this all the time, and you see when the managers argue with the umpires, they try to back away so you don't see what's being worded a lot.
Yeah.
And the managers never get suspended or fine. I think the problem was Harper ran back on the field, and usually when you get,
I was gonna say that's really where
when you get ejected, you're supposed to be off.
You're not allowed to come back on
coming
the
back.
field.
Yeah.
So I mean, regardless of what he said, I'm not sure if that's really. I'm sure the umpires get cussed out all the time. I don't think that's really the issue. The fact that he was ejected and that he came back on the field before the game technically ended. That's where the fine or penalty or suspension might come from. But I don't know what's normally the repercussion for that. Has that ever happened?
Well, they just had someone. I think John Farrell from the Red Sox came back on after getting ejected, and nothing came of him. Now, did he say something towards the ump? I don't know. But usually, when you get ejected from a game, that's it. That's your suspension. So we'll see what happens. I think personally, he may get like a fine, but I don't think he'll get suspended.
Well, let's hope it's just a fine.
Now, the Nationals aren't going to do anything about it because you're not going to take your best hitter out of the lineup because let MLB do what they got to do.
Well, I did hear Dusty Baker said that he spanks his kid, and he may have to spank Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't do it tomorrow because I want him to play against Jordan Zimmer because that's interesting. So we'll have to see what happens with what goes on with that and what happens with that. Obviously, as we keep going on,
I think they're making too big of a deal out of it. Okay, one reason why I think they could make a big deal out of it is because one, he's going up against an official of the game, right?
Yes.
So he's like, okay, fine, spank him for that, but everything else, I mean, he's an athlete, man. He's out there trying.
Here's my problem with umpires compared to other sports. Now we're going to talk about the umpires here. The umpires in baseball have a lot more to say during the game than, let's say, an NFL referee, NBA official. A lot more. People say, well, NFL refs can call penalties. Yeah, that's once couple plays here and there, depending on if the player makes a mistake. In baseball, you could have a straight strike right on the corner, and the ump can call a ball, and that can completely change a game. We saw that in 2012 with the Nationals when Storm painted the edge 2 times in a row, and the ump called a ball. It could have been a different umpire. It would have been strike 3. Nationals are in the NLCS, and maybe Storm's still Nat. Maybe we have a World Series here in D.C. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But that's the thing I think different from umpires in baseball and other sports is they control the game a lot. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, pitcher for the Tigers had a perfect game going in the 9th inning, beat the guy out running to first base, to throw him out. Obviously the Tiger pitcher was there first. Umpire called him safe. That kid may never get another shot of having a perfect game, all because an umpire blew the call. Now, nowadays you would go back and obviously do instant replay and everything. But because of that umpire, that one call that he messes up, because he decides what happens throughout the entire game, that kid will never have another perfect game in his life probably.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the difference comes from other sports is the umpires in baseball, they get too much airtime.
Yeah.
They decide the game way too often on things that shouldn't be decided. I mean, balls and strikes, I understand that's a part of your thing, but a lot of them are too inconsistent in what goes on there.
Yeah, and I understand his frustration. Example: this past weekend, my daughter had a soccer game. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're playing up in their league a little bit, so they're facing like these taller, bigger, older girls, and they haven't really won a lot. Last season, they would win every game. This season, not so much. But this past game, they were pretty even. And it was like it was 1-1 at the time. They shoot. The goalie grabs the ball. It goes down, and it rolls into the goal by like a ball's length. Mm-hmm. And she goes back and she grabs it. Right. And there's only one referee and no sideline guys. And so she just kind of like pulls it back,
right,
like ahead of the line.
To try to say like, it didn't cross the line.
And everybody's like, yeah, and then the ref is just like,
right,
like he didn't see it. Mm-hmm. So then he goes, keep playing, dude. That frustrated me to no end. So I can completely see where how you could lose your S just because of a blown call.
Well, here's another thing with Harper is he's probably was frustrated over the weekend of getting walked like 9 straight times in a row, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a good transition to what your next topic was going to be, was what you think is a bad tactic or in terms of walking him.
All right, on Sunday, Harper had no official at bat Sunday. He was 0 for 0. He got walked 6 times. I think the 7th he was hit by a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
7 times a game. They walked him intentionally, I think 2 or 3 times. But the other ones you could say were, unintentional walks, as they say.
Right.
They're not intentionally doing it, but obviously they're not pitching to him. So, I mean, yeah, I get his strategy, but to me, that's not baseball. That's scared baseball. I mean, as a pitcher, the coach telling you don't pitch to him. As a pitcher, if I'm doing that, I'm like, man, I can get this guy out. Let me have a chance. No, you try to walk him. So I think it's a scare tactic. I think it's horrible for the game personally to see a guy get walked, 7 times in one game.
Yeah,
that's not what baseball's about.
But isn't it also up to the team who's getting walked to make them pay for it, though?
Exactly.
Which is the problem because Zimmerman went 1 for 15, I believe, in runners scoring position. He really screwed them up, and I think Dusty's going to have to make a change in the lineup to where maybe put Daniel Murphy.
I was going to say put Daniel Murphy.
I know
right
he wants
there.
to do left, right, but you're going to have to just go away from that. The reason they do left, right like that is in case they have a bullpen, a specialist. After you face Harper, you have to quickly change to another bullpen guy. Unlike if you have Murphy, you can stay with the same pitcher. Murphy's hitting the ball regardless who's pitching to him. And I think this proves another point that Zimmerman's time, I think it's starting to wind down here in baseball. He's starting to struggle. He's playing a great first base, don't get me wrong.
But his offense
His
is
bat's just not there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame. Like I said, he's been Mr. National since they came here. He was the first guy to really develop in the system, first guy they took care of. And, getting a second contract, only him and now Strasburg are the only 2 Nationals ever to get a second contract after being drafted by the team. But it's just a shame what's going on these past couple weeks. He needs to get on a hot streak or something. All it takes is for, 1 hit, 1 home run to get you going. But it's got to happen. Last night he had a bad game again. So unless that changes with him, Nationals are going to be in trouble because teams are going to find the flaw in their thing. But I don't like the tactic, just like, where people hack Shaq or hack DeAndre Jordan. I just don't like it. I think it's scared tactic. I think it's wrong. But that's just me.
But here's the deal. If Harper was on the other team, what would you do?
I don't have to think about it. Well, I've never said they should intentionally walk someone, ever.
But I'm just saying, that's strategy. And guess what? They came out with 4 wins. That's all that matters.
I guess.
That's all that matters. When you don't let Shaq get to the rim and you hack him, how many times is he going to make that free throw?
1 out of 10, probably.
Yeah, he's a horrible free throw shooter. So that's just part of the strategy. That's part of the game. And it sucks. You're right. It's not really fun baseball, but it gets a W in the win column. So, I mean, that's really all that matters. It wasn't a curly W, but they got a W.
And speaking on that series, they go before they get there, they sweep the Cardinals. They take 2 or 3 from the Royals, and they get swept by the Cubs. So they go 5-5. Should have been 6-4. They shouldn't have lost that one game to the Royals. They blew it in the ninth. Allowed 3 runs. But even getting swept by the Cubs, they stayed in there every game. They didn't get blown out at all. People are like, oh, the Cubs are above the competition. I really think the Nationals were in every game. I think, get me wrong, 3 out of 4 they were leading, ended up losing the lead or whatnot. But I think that was a playoff preview, and I think in the playoffs and even later in the season, it's going to be a really different story on these 2 teams when they do play each other. And I think the Nationals, if they meet them in the playoffs, could win that series, to be honest with you.
Well, I think what's important in what you said is that all 4 of these games were close. They were close. They were competitive games. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't 10-0.
2 1-run games.
Exactly. These were games that were tied. The last game went to extra innings. These are games that were really hard fought, and the bats weren't there. The bats weren't there, and that comes to a different point that I wanted to mention. Other than Daniel Murphy, who's leading the league right now, I think with 398, I think batting or OPS plus. I think that's the statistic. And Bryce Harper, who's also killing it if he's actually getting a chance to swing the bat. Other than that, I think everyone else is below the league average. In OPS
Rendon's
plus.
having
Everybody.
Rivera, he was hurt, so he's trying to get his bat back going. I mean, you can't really blame him for struggling the first part. He's basically like on a little semi-spring training right now.
I know, but when you look at, like you said, Zimmerman, when you look at Worth, when you look at Michael Taylor, I know Ben Revere just came back, but he went 0 for 4, I think, in his first game back. I mean, granted, like I said, it's his first game back, but Jason Worth has been there. He's not really connecting. Zimmerman's not connecting. Rendon. Ramos is doing better than he was before, but he's still technically below average in terms of the league. So it's not even though we're competitive, can you imagine if we were just a little better in terms of getting the bat on the ball? It's crazy.
Yeah. So, real quick, since we talked about what they said on First Take, just real quick on First Take, do you find that to be the most biased show on television in terms of what they coverage? Because it seems like they only coverage certain things every morning. They never spread around. This is the first time I've heard them talk baseball in a while. They never talk, baseball at all. Rarely football. If it's football, it's freaking, Cam Newton or it's the Cowboys because of Skip. And then mostly it's just NBA talk. I mean, it's supposed to be, I think a sports show about everything, but really it's only basketball. Yeah, I know it's a hot topic right now, but there's other things going on. I mean, I'm sure some NHL fans like to hear them debate maybe about that or something.
Well, they normally debate the hot topics. I mean, that's really what they do. Whether it's college, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's, the Cowboys are in the national spotlight no matter where you go. You can go and...
Do you just feel, though, the show's a little bit biased maybe sometimes towards what they coverage?
A little bit, yeah. But, I mean, that's their job is to cover the teams that are really in the national headlines,
Do you find them annoying at all?
I find them entertaining because they're annoying.
I think somebody in this room finds them annoying.
I think so too.
I hate Skip to save his life.
Well, that show is pretty much done.
Isn't he leaving?
So,
yeah, he got some contract with Fox Sports.
yeah, that's the rumor.
So who knows?
He got a big contract.
So
with Fox.
who knows who's going to pitch him?
Do you guys watch Fox Sports?
No,
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
only when there's something. Maybe when UFC's on it.
Right. Yeah, but in terms of their daily sports show, definitely not. No.
All right, so let's shift gears. Real quick before we go to NFL football, let's talk soccer football. And congratulations to Lancaster City for winning the Premier League. 5,000 to 1 odds.
Damn.
I'm
really?
sorry. What was the name of the team?
Did I say it right? Lancaster?
No.
How do you say it? How do you say it?
It's just Leicester.
Leicester? Why
Yeah.
is it Leicester? Well, whatever. Leicester City won. There were 5,000 to 1 odds to win the
Yes.
Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they won was awesome. They didn't have to play to win. Chelsea had to either, I think it was draw or beat Tottenham for the win. Chelsea was down 2-0.
No, Tottenham had to win.
Yeah, I know.
in order to
Chelsea.
keep it.
I know. Chelsea either had to draw or win for
Okay.
City to win. That's what
All
I
right.
meant.
I got you.
Chelsea was down 2-0 at halftime and came back to 1-2, or came back to tie at 2-2, and they just went crazy in Leicester
Right.
City. Just went absolutely crazy. Tottenham. Towards the end of the game, it got very foul-ish, I guess. Just Tottenham
Right.
realized they were done. So there's a little
Right.
reckless going on there. I think someone poked Costa in the eye.
Oh my God.
So.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
And then today I was watching Manchester United play West Ham, and they had to win their final 2 games to qualify for the Champions League. They lost 3-2.
Yeah.
They were up 2-1, gave up back-to-back goals in a 10-minute span.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty competitive league when a team that was in the B League, the relegation
2 years ago.
2 years ago, is now.
I think they got 15th last year now.
They're winners.
Now they're going to be in the Champions League.
They're going to be in the Champions League. They're going to face, Barcelona,
The best.
Real
We'll
Madrid,
see how they do.
Bayern Munich.
Maybe this will help them get some players in during the summer now.
Probably.
And hopefully
Really,
Vandy doesn't leave.
The important thing is to make sure that they get the exposure, so they get the money, so they can sign those kind of players. That's really where it counts.
Yep.
Yeah, Copa America is coming, right? And I was looking into, because they're playing in Philly, and I think Chile was going to play.
You looking
in
going?
Philly. I was hoping to go, but I go to buy tickets, and they're gone, all of them.
StubHub it.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be expensive though.
Yeah, let me check.
Yeah, we'll watch USA get their butts kicked in that. They didn't really get a favorable, I think, draw on that.
No,
so.
they did not.
So there was like they showed like the best case and the worst case, and they pretty much got like the worst case scenario.
Yep. Well, the point is, we're in it. We have a chance.
Just helps them. Oh, wait, you said in Philly?
Did I say Philly?
Yeah.
Did I mean
Oh, here you go.
Philly?
You're playing Panama.
Yeah, that's right.
Tickets start at $12.
We're on StubHub?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean,
like
that's gonna be nosebleeds.
well, those tickets are actually not in the nosebleed. They're in like the end zone tours up above, like section 2. Hey, like 230. I don't know what the view looks like.
Whoa, how's it possible? Because I went to go look on the website, and the website is
I'm
selling
looking
it for
right
like
now. It's
125
$16.47 a ticket. Upper level end zone. So I guess you have to pull up Lincoln Field and see what it looks like from that point of view.
Mm.
Let me check. Maybe I was looking at the wrong spot.
It's possible.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean the lower level tickets are like $170. I don't know. Yeah, the end zone tickets are cheap. I don't know what it looks like from the end zone there.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Soccer. I mean, it's just being there is going to be awesome. But anyway, all right, let's jump to NFL draft and what everyone predicted what happened. Goff went 1, Wentz went 2nd, and then everything just got screwed up after that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything just went to hell. Bozy going to San Diego, you can argue that. Big thing came with Ezekiel Elliott went to Dallas, and they had, I know, running back, is a big need or whatever. I mean, you already had McFadden and Alfred Morris, and you had a big game changer on the board in Jalen Ramsey. You pass him up to go running back, and Ramsey ends up in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville won the draft. Not only did they get Ramsey, second round they got Miles Jack, who, if he comes back from his injury, stronger than ever, which he showed. I mean, he did like a dunk on YouTube to show that his knee's fine. Jacksonville's defense could be probably top 10 in the NFL this year.
Well, let's go and take a look at what has caused them to be the I think they were in the top 10 in terms of passing offense last season, but that's because they had to, because their defense just was terrible.
Now their defense is even
better.
better.
Now that they've got some pieces in play,
this team could make some moves.
Exactly.
Especially in the division they're in. I mean, the AFC South was not the best last year.
It's not.
Luck, even when Luck was playing, he wasn't playing that good.
No. And
the Colts is not. The people think the Colts, blah blah. They're not that good of a team anymore.
Well, they showed you that last year.
Yeah.
But I would certainly not bet against them this year. I feel like there's no way Andrew Luck is going to have that same type of season where he just can't connect with his receivers.
And then you
I don't
got
think so.
The Titans GM who go executive of the year. I mean, he got all those picks for number 1 pick, gave up just a couple to get back in the top 10 to draft Jake Conklin out of Michigan State. And then the big thing in the draft was Tunsil, who dropped all the way to 13 to Miami.
Yep.
Miami, they hit a gold mine because he was on video smoking weed through a gas mask.
Yep.
What an idiot. Now, people are saying, someone's saying now here's the thing. He was at the combine. No one at the combine failed the drug test. Now, obviously, the combine was a couple weeks back, so obviously he was clean for a little bit. So he's saying someone hacked his account and he was doing this a while back.
Right.
We don't know for sure. We'll see what happens. Let's see what kind of condition he stays in, because Miami's a very town where if you have some issues with drugs or drinking.
Miami's definitely a city where
probably
you can
not
get
the best
into
place
some,
for you to go.
Get some trouble.
Yeah.
You can definitely get into some trouble in Miami.
All right, and then you come down to the Skins, who traded number 21 to the Houston, and Houston gave up one player just to, whatever. I guess Houston just thought the Redskins were going to take Fuller. And then the Redskins, everyone's saying defensive tackle. Everyone's saying maybe defensive back to help, and they take wide receiver Josh Doctson out of TCU.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of grades. They're getting A's for this grade. They're getting B pluses, A minuses.
Right.
The theory for them is that, they worked on defense later on in the draft.
They certainly did. I think it was the next
it was a good draft.
3 picks.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 picks after that were defense.
This was the highest rated guy on their board. Excuse me. Probably the best receiver in the class. You get him, and now you have Pierre and Deshaun after this year are free agents. Now you're thinking, okay, maybe this is why they did the pick. This is someone, a rookie that you don't have to bring in right away and put him right into the dogs. You can develop him behind guys like that to where he can learn. And the next year, once either one or both of these guys are gone, here to replace him right away. He's also 6'2". They don't have a guy who's big in the end zone that can go up and get a ball, a possession guy. Pierre, he's a possession guy, but he's not really physical. I mean, this guy's 202 pounds. He can get pretty physical. Deshaun, he's not jump ball guy either in the red zone. All you had was
speed guy.
All you had was Jordan Reed.
Right.
So now you have this guy who can be that red zone target. You may see him in there on Reed, opposite of Reed, Jordan Reed on the other side. There you go. Put Deshaun Pierre in the middle. Let them spread out the guys.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens.
I think it was a good pick.
I agree with what you're saying. Everyone was thinking defensive line at that pick, but like you were saying, the defense was. There was a lot of picks at that defensive line position, and in the defense in general, there was a lot of different options they could have gone with. But when you have that guy, I think they went with whoever the best player was available at that time, and that was that wide receiver. And you're right, we need a wide receiver within the next year.
And trust the GM who's made Super Bowl winning teams.
Right. I mean, that's the next thing is right now, you have to trust them. I mean, you would think you haven't had a lot of trust in the Redskins front office in the past, 5-10 years. Yeah. But now when you pick 7 players and you sign 6 out of 7 within, weeks, and the one that you haven't signed is because he's injured, but he's rehabbing. He'll be back soon.
Fuller, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's a step in the right direction. We addressed a need that we're going to have within the next season, we needed a wide receiver, and guess what? We got the best one, like you said, on the board. And then also the next 3 picks, we did defense, because I think that's what we need right now is in order to stay competitive, we need to stop the likes of Des Bryant, Odell Beckham Jr., and
well, the next pick they got Sue Cravens out of USC, outside linebacker.
Right.
They'll convert him to safety.
mm-hmm.
They're saying he's arguably could be their best safety guy since they've had since Sean Taylor. The way he plays,
Right.
they say he's fast, he's physical,
Right.
and for someone to say that about you, that's very impressive.
Right.
And he's going to wear number 21, which I don't think anyone.
I think he's gonna wear a different number.
No,
He's not wearing 21.
I think they've already said.
No, he said he was wearing 36.
The old number.
The old number.
Okay.
Right.
I heard
think
21 at first.
Yeah, originally that was the report that he was going to do 21, but I think out of respect, he kind of just went to his old number, 36. But that's what we needed. We needed when you have Des Bryant, Odell Beckham Jr.
You need
and
someone physical that's going
exactly.
to knock them down.
You need somebody who's going to be able to cover him. So that's definitely where they went with the next pick. So
And then, beginning of the second round, you had Jalen Smith, the outside linebacker from Notre Dame, coming off the injury. May not even play this year. The Cowboys take him. And you give him time to rehab. This could pay. It's a risk-reward thing right there. They're taking a huge risk on someone who's torn up his whole knee his senior year.
Right.
To where if this guy lives up to his potential, this could be one of the greatest picks in the draft for them.
yeah, well,
Like I said, Miles Jack went to Jacksonville once again. They got another steal probably. And then the Titans with the surprise pick, I think, in the second round, that just because, not even because I'm a fan, I think a lot of people didn't expect this, for them taking Derrick Henry out of Alabama.
right. That was crazy.
With them just drafting.
Or just acquiring.
Acquiring DeMarco Murray. I
Right.
think this shows that this guy, the new GM there, is going with a smash mouth football. And it's funny, they were comparing his draft, what he did, to a similar team's draft, the Patriots, because he used to be in that front office there. And Derrick Henry, you're getting a 6'3", 247-pound monster who was ranked number 26 overall, and they got him at 45. So I think even with DeMarco, and the thing is, when this happened, DeMarco came out and wasn't upset about this. I think the difference between this and what was going on with him in Philly is I think he'll be used more here than what Philly did with him last year. That's what I think the big difference is on why, he is probably not as upset as he was in Philly when you had Ryan Matthews, Darren Sproul. I think it's a different organization and different things they can do. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know, man. To me, I don't think it's the right pick. But you know the team better than I do, and if that is the case, if he's going to be the one first down, second down guy, and
then you bring Henry
Henry's
in
going to get
short
you the two yards that you need to get the first down, or if you're at first and goal at the 2 and you bring in Henry and he vultures those touchdowns, it's not going to be good for fantasy purposes. But if that
For
helps
Titan
the team
purposes,
win,
and I think DeMarco,
then that's what matters.
And you think these NFL running backs, most of them probably don't even care about touchdown totals unless you're getting bonuses, and
yeah.
But if you're not getting the bonuses and it's just okay, cool,
let's help the team win. Let's win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think Murray could be someone like that. And having 2 running backs like this protects Mariota even more now.
Well, yeah, I mean
that's the big thing for this year was to protect him.
Yeah, Henry's a beast, and he certainly will get his chance to shine. It's just a matter of, can the Titans keep 2 high-profile running backs like that for more than one season?
2 or 3 maybe. You never know.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you said this is a one-season thing.
No, I'm saying, could you keep them for more than a couple seasons? I mean, he's on his rookie contract. He's going to be there for at least a couple years.
3-4 years, I believe.
Yeah, so, will DeMarco Murray be happy with that eventually? Because, you're not going to pay that guy so much money and then have him, what happens if he outproduces DeMarco Murray? What happens?
We'll have to wait and see then.
Yeah, you'll have to wait and see. But I think, like you said, he was happy at first because he knows he's not going to have to run it, by himself 20, 30 times a game. But then again, that's what really made him his money when he was in Dallas. He ran it 20-plus times a game. I think there was a huge statistic where they won a huge percentage of games when he runs for 20-plus times in a game. I can't remember the exact statistic. I'm thinking way back, but it's something where that's where he thrives, when he gets 20-plus touches and he's fresher than the defense at that point in the third and fourth quarter. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just can't wait for football. How many more days? Like 100 and some change?
Yeah, 100 something.
Gosh, I can't wait.
Can't wait for fantasy football. Oh,
I know.
Speaking of football, the Shipe Sports Talk is open. now for signups.
Right.
I know you're already in it. Paul's in it. My wife returned to do it again. I got Anthony's in it this year. My other buddy James, Pagan, Chris Pagan's back in it. Yeah, I'm listing names off. I think Christian going to be in it as well. So let's try to get some of the other people that were in it last year and get it going again. It was very competitive last year.
It was.
Obviously I won the lead, but I can thank Odell Beckham for being an idiot for me winning that. I believe he played in that game, not suspended. I think Guillermo would have taken home the title.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to look to rebound. I did well, but I didn't do as well.
I need
as
to rebound in
wanted.
yours.
Yeah.
I need to not have to pick last. In all my drafts, I was one of the last picks in all of them. I think Paul's league, I was like 11.
Yeah.
Yours, I was like 9. My own, I was like close to the end. I'm like, this is
Right.
ridiculous. All the leagues that matter to me, I'm way behind. Now, funny thing is, I'm doing, John.
Yep.
I'm doing a draft with him. It's one of those dynasty leagues. But you pick like defensive players, and I'm like, God, I'm gonna get my butt kicked.
There's like 36 players. Or
Did you?
something
Are
like
you
that.
in it too?
He asked me to go on it, but I couldn't. I can't. I mean, there's no way I can do that. There's no
I
way I
did
have
that
enough time
once.
to ever do that.
It's so.
I
But
did
this is a
that
dynasty
once.
where I think like you draft like all the players this year, and then the next couple years you don't draft that much. I think is that how the
Well,
dynasty
you
works?
get to pick
Who
like
you want to keep.
2 players or something, or 1 player that you keep.
It's like a
And
keeper
then,
league, right?
Exactly. That's
You need
exactly
to
what
do
it
that
is.
with yours eventually.
Nah, man, we got to keep it interesting.
I like the one where if you can get the same amount of people, like with yours, since we have the same people every year,
Yeah.
you'd almost get to the point where you can trade draft picks for the following year if you do
Yeah.
a keeper lead, which I think is
Right.
kind of cool.
That's too much.
That's too much.
That's too much.
I'd be
Let's just
trading
keep it
picks.
interesting. Everyone gets their first round pick. Brand new season, brand new players.
Yes, that's what.
You know,
Let's
also bad
wipe,
thing is,
wipe the
since-
slate clean.
Since the draft is done, there's really no more football talk till July. If you think
I
about it, until
know.
training camp.
I mean, not unless there's
Something big that happens.
injuries.
Oh, I can't believe we're getting off the draft yet. Passon Lynch, obviously one of the big names, went to the Broncos. Their new starting quarterback. They're saying he's looking really good in rookie camp. And
yeah, I
could
was
be the
gonna
starter
say
by week 1.
he could be the starter. If,
And
if
then
he really surprises everybody.
The big draft surprise was Christian Hattenberger going to the Jets in the second round. I mean, before Connor Cook and all this other stuff. So, see how that works out. I think they gave that thing like a C- grade for that pick. So it wasn't really.
So I'm just.
But it's the
looking-
Jets.
So it's 10 teams, 40-man roster,
oh my
21
gosh.
starters, 19 bench with offense and defensive players. I'm like, damn, there's no way.
and I
I
gotta do
have a
this?
hard enough time just doing
That may just be
15-man
be an auto pick draft for me.
Well, I mean, obviously the defensive players, you don't pick them until later. You
Yeah.
know, I've
How
only
long
done
is
that once.
draft, dude? That draft.
That
Like
draft
6
is a
hours.
Like
long
I
time.
said, I'm not doing the bench. So all right, so we're gonna shift here and go right into Washington Capitals talk. It's 2-3, game 6. Capitals, another must-win game. Had a great game a couple days ago. Won 3-1, I believe it was 3-1, right?
3-1, 3-2.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think it was 3-1. Got to Murray finally. There was some talk of Murray being benched for this game, but I think they said now he's playing this game, you're committed to him all the way to the end. Because no way
You
you're going to
have
bring
to
in a backup for Game 7.
Did they say that? Did they say he was going to play?
There was
Yeah,
there was
there's
rumors,
speculation,
there was
but
talk,
they're going with Murray.
but they're going with the guy that they've been winning with.
Murray, then.
Yep.
At least recently, because he wasn't their goalkeeper at the start of the season.
No.
But right now he's their guy. Unless he really really messes up or he gets hurt, he's not going to play. He's not going to not miss.
So
He's going to play Game 7. Hold on. We have to get past Game 6 before we get to Game 7.
Yeah, but
so all that
obviously
matters is he playing Game
tonight
6.
there was
is-
there was a question that was brought up on the morning talk show,
Uh-huh.
106.7. They were saying that, let's say the Caps actually go up like 3-1, something like that during this game tonight. Do they take him out?
Holtby?
No.
Murray?
Murray, and put in the other guy, thinking that, just to get him some licks for the next game.
You know
just
what?
in case.
That wouldn't surprise me. I would
I don't know, man.
honestly see that happening. If you get up now 3-1, maybe not, but if you get up 4-0, then I can see that happening.
Mhm.
Yeah,
just to get him some time.
But
on
here's the thing:
ice
what if they
again?
bring on him and he's so rusty that they even go down even 5-1 or 5-2? I mean, what if it gets even worse for them?
But at that point, you're out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
Here's
you're
the thing.
thinking Game 7 at that
Capitals
point.
have to score. They have to get up. They need to get a 2-goal lead for me to feel comfortable. I don't feel every time they get a 1-goal lead, they lose in like 5 minutes
Make
later.
it 3. No.
I can't
two,
watch.
2 is not good.
I'm not watching the game tonight. I can't.
You know, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. So far this series, TJ Oshie has been the MVP for this team. I think he got the hat trick the first game. You know, he scored a couple goals, you know, throughout the series. Ovechkin, once again, when he doesn't get a point, they've lost. Ovechkin's got to do something. Ovechkin's got to be big tonight. I can't think of the guy's name, the other Russian, the young kid, starts with a K. Konechkov. He hasn't been playing up to his potential at all. Backstrom, he's been doing good. Konechkov's got to get going. Now the Capitals talked about maybe this game moving Ovechkin to the second line to keep him away from Letang, Crosby, Malkin, all of them because they're swarming him. What would you think about that if you move Ovechkin to the second line to keep him away from those other guys?
Well, here's the thing. I think it is going to mess with the chemistry a little bit.
But how about this? What if you reverse the first and second line?
I don't see a problem with that.
Would you trust your second line going up against those guys?
It depends. I think right now, I think it's a third line that's really in trouble. I think if I remember correctly when I was looking at the statistics.
So would you be against them? Would you be for them switching the first and second? That way,
Ovi,
Backstrom, and them don't have to see those.
I don't see the point at that point. I mean, I think the way that we've been playing is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've been controlling the puck. We've been getting the shots. You know, I think the problem was we've been worried about quantity and not about the quality of the shots.
Yeah, we've had. I think what
that's
was it the
other
other day where we had 44 or something again like that.
It was almost 50 essentially. I think
Same
it was
thing
48,
happened in the Flyers
49.
game. Remember?
Yeah, I mean we were worried about getting shots on the net, which is fine, which is correct. But you really do have to worry about what kind of shots you're putting on the net, because if you're just if you're shooting a cupcake at them, that really doesn't count. It counts as a shot on the stat sheet, but that's not a shot. That's really gonna threaten an NHL goalkeeper. You know, it just doesn't. It doesn't work. You have to take quality shots as well. I'd rather take 20 quality shots than 40, really bad shots. That's the way I see it.
So one of the statistics that I heard too that I thought was interesting was that Murray was saying that he likes to get a lot of shots during the game because he gets more into like a rhythm, right?
That's exactly right.
So the last game that when the Caps won, it was the least amount of shots that they put on him, and they actually got some through. So it was like 30 shots or something like that.
Right.
Where the other one, or maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, I think 30 is about right. And then all the other games, the ones that they were getting, that they lost, they were actually putting up almost double the amount of shots, and he was saving like all of them. So that was kind of
and that builds into not just like you said, get him in a groove. It's confidence as well. If you see Ovechkin, who is the number one player in the league right now, shooting shots at you that are savable. If they're right at your chest, if they're right, at the level where it's easy to react to, you're going to build confidence. You're not going to be scared of him. You're not going to be scared of the shots that he's taking. Mm-hmm. And that also goes to rebounds and things like that. If the shot is not, a great shot, there's not a high percentage or a high probability of there being a rebound and then a nice putback right after that. So. Yeah. It all ties into, I think, the quality of the shots. We need to go high or 5-hole. We need to aim where we're shooting, not just shoot, random pucks and just try to get them on the net. I think we really have to aim for that, the top corners, top shelf, and 5-hole.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, you need to put. I mean, you saw some of the goals we made have all been in the little small 5-hole, whatnot, because it seems like that's Murray's weak spot.
Yeah, there's a top shelf.
But I mean, I saw a lot of shots that were just missing wide right, wide left, and it's annoying.
That too.
Like you said, they got to put it on.
Yeah, it's not just, and that's the thing. Like you were saying, you don't know if you can watch it. I missed the game over the weekend because I forgot what time it was. I was just playing Call of Duty, and I get like a notification that we just scored, and I'm like, oh crap, it's on. And then I see that we're up like 2-0 or something, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't watch this game.
That's exactly.
Maybe I shouldn't watch this game. I'll just let it happen and hope for the best. And we won. So I'm.
Oh my God, we have breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
Dale Murphy got another hit.
Yeah, he's
That's
killing it.
all he does.
He's killing it.
And we only paid 3. What was it? 3 years? 12? No, what was it? 30-something million? I don't know his contract. Wasn't that much. Oh, no. All the Mets fans said it was too much. Anyway, yeah, back to the Caps. But, yeah, man, it's going to be... I didn't watch the game either. I had it on my cell phone the whole time because, obviously, I was at the bachelor party. I'm sitting there in Baltimore Stadium like, let's go Caps. And I I saw the one goal and I started screaming, and they're like, dude, what are you screaming at? The dude just got out. They're like, you look like a damn Oakland A's fan here. I was
Yeah.
like, no, man, Capitals.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's we have to forget about the
past.
President's Cup. We have to forget about us being down 3-2. We have to forget about where we're playing, away from home. All that matters is today. From 8 o'clock puck drop, the next 60 minutes of game time, that's all that matters. Nothing else in the world matters at that point. So if we can focus and play like we've been playing all season long, I think we can do it. We just have to be more determined. I mean, we've been the more physical team. We've been the team that is controlling the puck the most. We've gotten the shots, but we really just have to win this one game. That's it. Nothing else matters. We can't worry about Game 7. We can't worry about the Lightning coming up in the next round. None of that
Real
matters.
quick, Tom Wilson, please, just put a hit on Sidney Crosby. Make him feel it. Last time Crosby got a big hit from a Capitals player, Ovechkin, he was out for a very long time.
Well, look,
Tom Wilson, please hit her.
Orpik is coming back tonight too.
Good.
So that's going to definitely that's what I heard, I think.
Speaking
so
of
that's
players, what do you think about that suspension? Do you think it should have been 3 games? Do you think Letang's hit should have been more than 1 if they gave Orpik 3?
I knew which one you're talking about.
Because Letang actually
Here's the
ejected
thing.
himself off his feet as well.
I didn't see the first hit, the one that got us suspended for 3 games.
And what do you think about Letang's hit?
Letang's hit was late, but from what I heard, it wasn't as late as the first hit.
They said the difference was, it was on the junkies, they said it was like 0.4 or 0.3 of a difference on how late it was.
The timing?
Yeah, the timing.
Mhm.
But the thing with Letang was he launched himself. He went off his skates.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he
I didn't
actually
see that.
Letang was actually off his skates at one point. But I think it was I'm starting to agree with people. I think the NHL, the Pittsburgh is that team that gets protected sometimes. I think it's like the NHL's team, like
Mhm.
like the
Cowboys.
Cowboys with the NFL, the Yankees with baseball, something like that.
But here's the deal. We can't think about that.
You can't.
We can't. None of it.
You got to put some hits on the net.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing matters but getting that puck in the back of the net past Murray. That's
But like
the only
I said,
thing.
I have no problem with them if they do that line switch and just switch the 1 and 2 lineup. I really think if you put a veteran away from those guys, I really think a little bit of a difference.
Well, I mean, we'll see. It's just a matter of winning tonight's game and seeing if we can keep the control of the puck, not make mental errors, because we definitely could have been. It could have been a 2-2 game if we didn't turn the puck over in that fourth game, and then they won that game off that turnover.
Then we could easily be up 3-1.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just that game. It was several games where mental errors were the issue here. Just turnovers in our own end just killed us. We've been doing great in penalty kills. I think they got their first one this past game. The Penguins finally got their first one, so we got to keep that up. But I think also what's important is to not give them so many chances because I think it was their 15th power play that they finally hit on. We can't have that many penalties and let them have that advantage. So it's all about focus and getting that puck in the right place so Murray can't get it.
Yeah. Well, I want to be able to talk to some more Caps in 2 weeks, so I hope they can win tonight.
Yes,
win games.
let's.
You know what the
let's
thing
hope
is?
so.
The roles have finally been reversed. We're finally the team that's down and fighting back. This, usually it's the other way for us, and then we would go on to lose Game 7. But this isn't the first time that the Penguins have done something like this. I think last year, the Rangers, they were down 3-1. The Rangers came back not only to beat the Penguins, then they went on to beat us as well.
Mm-hmm.
So not last. No, yeah, it was last year. Yeah.
I don't remember, but
No,
I remember us losing.
No, it was last year because we still made the playoffs the first year of Barry Trotz. It was 2 years ago with Oates we didn't make the playoffs. So the roles are reversed. Finally, it's us because I really don't think the Capitals ever been down like this. We've always been up and losses. So now it's time to see what this team can do in fighting back.
Well, we've got a really strong roster. I think all of our lines are technically, statistically better than their lines, but for some reason we just haven't had the luck. I mean, literally some of these goals were deflections, were bouncing off a player's back.
Yeah.
We just haven't had the luck. But if we keep the possession, we keep the shots, we keep the advantages where we should we should have goals and we should win games. If it's a best of 7 matchup, we should come out on top.
Real quick, Nats are up 1-0 right now. Bases loaded.
That's good.
Espinoza just had a single. Murphy scored. Worth the third. Ramos is on second. So 1-0, 1 out.
Wonderful. But I mean, it's the Lions,
It is.
though. I mean,
The Lions?
Sorry, the Tigers.
Yeah.
The friggin' Tigers are they
Oh,
eight game losing streak?
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you know who the starting pitchers are tomorrow? Scherzer and Zimmerman.
Oh yeah, you said
That's a pretty cool matchup. We got Scherzer for them, and they got Zimmerman from us. So
Yeah.
I know we went off topic a little
wow.
bit,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay. So what are your prediction for? Do the Caps win tonight, or do the Penguins win in 6?
I think my original predictions in the beginning of this thing was that we'll lose in the 6th game, but I can't go against my team right now. I think we're gonna win it 3-2. I think it's gonna be a nail biter, but I think we're gonna be able to scratch and claw our way out
Now,
of
do
this.
we win Game 7?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
It's all
Paul?
about today.
I think they're gonna go on. They're gonna win tonight. 7. Yeah.
We're not there yet.
I'm with Chris.
We're not there yet.
I'm gonna say.
I don't want to think about it.
I'm gonna say the. See, being a DC sport fan, for several of the teams, I'm saying we're gonna lose tonight because that's usually what happens. But I'm gonna go with the Caps and say momentum's on our side. I think history's also against Pittsburgh
Right.
as well as against us, and the roles
Right.
reverse. So I'm gonna go with the Caps tonight. I think it'll be a. I'm gonna go 4-1 tonight.
4-1. You think
Ooh,
we're gonna put
I
a
hope
spanking
so.
on them?
I
like
think
that?
they're gonna make a goalie change tonight. I think maybe we found something to Murray that we exploited last game. I think Pittsburgh, even though we're in Pittsburgh, the thing is they got to score early. They have to take the fans out. I hate Pittsburgh fans in any sport. I think they're a bunch of jackasses. in
Well,
any sport.
so Murray's like 21 years old, right? So he's a
Yeah,
young
he's
guy
young.
Get to him.
on a stage right now that is ridiculously like
It's do or
pressure.
die.
Yeah, and like
Holpe's been here. He hasn't.
putting one through the 5-hole the other day was pretty good to get him rattled up. So I don't know.
Take advantage of the power plays, especially tonight, and be physical. Tom Wilson for some reason doesn't get penalties. Wilson knows how to do clean hits.
Well, we have been physical.
Yeah, but I'm just saying Tom Wilson's the most physical. He's the enforcer. He's like one of the Bash brothers from the Mighty Ducks.
Right.
And the thing with Wilson is, compared to other people, he doesn't get penalized because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
It's like he made a living of just, like, you're on this team because you can just hit. That's literally what Tom Wilson gets paid for. He doesn't pay to get scored goals, assists. He gets paid to just hit people.
That's
Well,
awesome.
let's keep the streak going.
What an awesome thing to get paid for.
We've clawed out one game.
Let's go Caps.
Clawed out one game, one do or die game. Now it's just we need to do one more.
Yep, and that
That's all
comes
that
on in
matters.
about 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And you can check that out at Buffalo Wings and Beer.
Yep.
See, I did that. See,
Nice.
like that, Ira. So before we head out, let's just do some real quick. The Champions League final set. It's going to be Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid.
Mhm.
Whoopie frickety do a Madrid derby. Wasn't that the same thing last year, 2 years ago, or something like that?
No, they met in the semifinals or something.
No, I
like
believe
that.
I believe 1 year it was the finals. I remember Costa didn't come on because he was hurt.
Yeah, but that wasn't last year.
It was 2 years ago then.
It was probably 2 years.
2 years ago. Oh yeah. Last year Costa was still with. Yeah, it was 2 years ago
Mhm.
where that happened.
Hmm.
Because I remember Costa started the game and they used a sub right off the bat, and it's just like, why would you even play him?
Well, basically, Real Madrid has beat them every single time.
This is the
and-
one time they maybe lose.
Well, I don't think so.
Play
I
some
really,
bets for me in Vegas.
I think Atletico Madrid is now out of the La Liga race.
Mhm.
They lost this past
So
weekend.
they can rest their players if they wanted to.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, I know they're out of the race, but this is the point where
Oh,
like,
okay.
you
So
can like rest some players.
Here's the thing. The only thing they have left to play for now is
So
this Champions
that's
League
all their
final.
concentration's
That's
on.
all their concentration.
Real Madrid, I think they're still in the La
They're
Liga.
still in the hunt. They're in second place right now. Basically, they need to win out, and Barcelona needs to lose one of the next two
not
games.
going to happen. I think.
Well, we'll never.
Barca's
we'll,
been on a
we'll
little.
never know.
Been a little.
They
lower
were in a
down.
slump, but they're back now. I mean, all three MSN scored this past weekend. It was a great game that they played. They were dominant the whole game, and the scoreline showed it. I think it was 5-0 at the end of the game. So it's definitely. I think Barcelona will definitely win La Liga, and I think Real Madrid will win Champions League.
Okay, now what was the boxing match this week? It was
Canelo and Khan.
yeah, and Carlino just knocked him out.
That's the thing, though. Khan was winning rounds, probably 3 out of the 4 first
And then
rounds.
Just one hit. That's
but all it
takes.
takes is one hit.
Now they're saying he wants Triple G.
No, I don't know about that one.
Now, I wish Mayweather would just step up and fight one of these guys. Speaking of Mayweather, he apparently wants to fight Conor McGregor in a boxing match.
Yeah.
Dana White's come out and said that ain't gonna happen.
Not while he's under contract.
So here's the
Probably
thing: if that would happen, Mayweather would probably win the boxing match, and then McGregor's like, "Well, I want to face you MMA." McGregor would probably kick the shit out of an MMA.
But Mayweather would never do that.
No, because Mayweather's
he would
smart.
He would never agree to that.
Mayweather wants him to bring him to his world.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. I don't think McGregor realizes. I'm sure he trains with boxing gloves, but he ain't gonna be as quick as he is in UFC. Now, Mayweather, on the other hand, I guarantee if Mayweather's in a UFC fight and he connects on a punch, I bet you Mayweather could knock out the best of them.
Well,
With his speed, especially.
I was gonna say, what does he fight at? Mayweather.
I think it's like 160. I think 150. I want to say.
Yeah, but that, if you put those type of people that same weight class, they're gonna just take you down.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying with Mayweather, if with his speed though, I'm pretty sure he can avoid. If McGregor's probably standing game if they have a boxing match. I mean,
Yeah,
McGregor's
I
not
mean-
used to facing a natural boxer.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it happens, like they said, it could be the first $1 billion fight because I guarantee they're gonna get a lot of buys.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a huge. Those two could do that and then be done could be set for life.
It would be bigger than Manny Pacquiao
Yeah.
and Mayweather
Yeah.
for sure.
So speaking of UFC, they have a pay-per-view coming up. Heavyweight titles on the line. You have Fabricio God damn.
Exactly. So what's his name? I'm sorry.
Fabricio.
Last name?
Wyndham.
Verdum.
We're doomed. That doesn't make any sense.
This is the Brazil card, basically.
Yeah.
Every fight in the main card, I think, has a Brazilian in it.
Yeah. Shogun's on it, which no one's really seen him in a very long time.
Here's the thing. I'm only interested in Anderson Silva.
Uriah Hall. That should be a great match because these two, I think,
Yeah.
were. This is the guy that Chael Sonnen said could beat Anderson Silva for the title.
Well,
Uriah Hall, because Uriah Hall's the guy who did that amazing knockout during the Ultimate Fighter.
here's the thing: is most of these fighters are past their prime right now.
The
So I
only,
don't
the only
even
big
know
one
how
on the
they
card
made it.
is Cyborg's making her UFC debut.
I think this is
obviously,
too late. At this point,
because
it's too late.
Ronda lost.
Right.
That's what kills it is Ronda
Mhm.
lost. Who else is on the card? I can see Little Nog is on the card for
Mhm.
God's sakes. I mean,
Once again, he's old.
whereas
past
so
his
pretty much
prime.
it's pretty much just for Brazil.
It's a Brazil pay-per-view,
Mhm.
100%.
Now, I know the last Silva fight you had to have the UFC pass, so that kind of. But you have UFC 200 coming up in July.
That's
Cormier versus Jones.
that's the big one.
What's 99? 99 is Webman versus Rockhold 2. So that's pretty good. Who else
Right.
is on that fight card? Oh, Faber's on that fight card against Cruz for the belt. So that's not a bad.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a
Dan
good
Harrison
matchup.
versus Hector Lombard. So that's actually not that too bad. Oh, BJ Penn's at 199. Another.
Mhm.
So that's actually not a bad card. Speaking of
Surprised he's back.
old fire, I
Oh,
think there's
my bad.
rumors that GSP may be coming back soon.
That was the rumor for UFC 200, but UFC 200 is so close, and they would have made the announcement by now.
Yeah.
There's no way you can,
No.
come now and. I mean, he's been training. Obviously, if
Mhm.
you follow him on Facebook,
Yeah, he's still
Instagram,
training.
he's training.
The only
But-
problem is the last time he fought, he got his ass kicked by
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, it was
You totally just missed that.
Captain America.
Yeah, he was in Winter Soldier. He got his
No,
ass kicked pretty good.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Captain America kind of just kicked his ass. It's a shame.
Great movie, by the way, Civil War.
Don't say a thing.
It was great.
I'm going next Monday.
Jesus, the way
I never go
the way
week.
Captain
I
America
never go the
killed
week
Iron
of.
Man. Jesus, man, it was crazy.
I heard Deadpool's in the movie. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
That'd been awesome if Deadpool's in that movie.
And the way basically Batman flies in and saves Iron Man, it was crazy.
I heard that. Well, you said it. This ain't a movie review thing.
Yeah.
But so the next couple of Nets. So our next show will be in 2 weeks again.
By that time, we will.
No, the Caps are in and out. We're either talking disappointment or talking hopefully conference finals.
Right.
We'll get more national news if Harper's been suspended or not.
Yep.
I think they're tied for first place right now with the Mets. I want to say. I want to check. I believe it's a tie right now.
I feel like we're at second. I
Mm,
mean, after we went 0-4.
yeah, but here's the thing: is they lost 2 games during that as well. So they were yeah. Oh, we're a half a game.
Mm-hmm.
Literally during that series, when they lost, we lost. When we won, they won, which
Mhm.
is so annoying. But here's the thing, though. It's coming up. We play the Mets Tuesday, May 17th, and that's time we have a show. We have them. We play them for 3, Marlins for 3, then we have the Mets again for 3. That's where we're gonna see what's gonna go on with this division. If we
Right.
go 0-6, it's done deal. Go ahead, just go ahead and try to win the wild card.
Yeah.
3-3, that's fine. Nats got to do 4-2 or 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get swept both times. That's what happened last year. You got swept 2 times in a row against them. If it happens again, I might as well go ahead and hang up the season as winning that division. I'm being serious.
We'll have our next show and for
Season will
fantasy
be over.
football.
Yeah, we'll already start.
We'll talk fantasy football. I mean, we've already done a couple mock draft. Well, one mock draft us together, but I've probably done 1 or 2 after that.
So we're 2 episodes away from number 50. We're
Right.
gonna try to plan something out. Maybe do something live at BWB. Paul's gonna work on that as he always does with his connection.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get some of our former guests on the show.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, show them how it's done.
Regardless of what happens, we're taking shots.
Yeah,
You
sure.
realize that.
Sure. Hopefully the Cowboys are playing, because I think when they score, you get like a $4 fireball shot or something. So hopefully they're playing and they score.
Well, we'll see.
So I think Paul, it's time.
Well, wherever it is, wherever we do the 50th, we're going to be taking shots.
Yeah.
If
You either of us here, we'll pack
I have
the
a
room
whole
in here.
table over
I
there
was going to
full
say
of
I've been
stuff.
eyeing that for weeks.
So also make sure you all check out my other podcast, OT3.
Mhm.
Off the Top Turnbuckle, my
On
wrestling
Mondays.
podcast. Mondays. I fortunately will not be there next Monday, but I'll be back in 2 weeks to discuss. I think we have Extreme Rules coming up, so me and Anthony will do a good show on that.
Yeah.
Also, if you're interested in the Fantasy Football League, let me, Chris, or Paul know, and I'll send the invite out to you. So, Paul, I
It's
think
very fun, very competitive.
It's on you now, Paul.
I'll be winning this, so you guys
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right. Already chalking trash.
don't worry about it.
Well, Paul found the strategy. Just do auto pick.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
right. So thanks for watching. Thanks for downloading. Hit subscribe on that YouTube page there, so you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, so you can get all the shows, news, and everything like that coming up on your system automatically and for free. And don't forget to go to www.shipesportstalk.com. Hit us up on Twitter, which is @ShipeSportsTalk. And send us
Facebook.
emails to shipesportstalk@gmail.com, and Facebook it's /Shipe Sports Talk, right? Or is it the Shipe Sports Talk show or
just
something like that?
Shipe
Shipe
Sports
Sports Talk.
Talk.
Everywhere at Shipe Sports Talk. So let us know what you think with the Caps game tonight. Give us your predictions. Give us your thoughts. You can, when they win, you can send us your hoorays. If they will not lose. If you're a Penguins fan and you guys lose, then you can send us your woes. That's fine.
Suck it. Real quick,
Suck it.
before we go, just a little breaking thing from ESPN. How much do you think UFC is worth, both of you? How much do you think they could be worth?
Maybe $1 billion. I'm sorry.
I was going to say 1.5 billion.
They're in advanced talks to sell the company for up to $4 billion. They have 4 bidders.
4 billion. Jeez.
Sell it to who?
I don't know.
Oh my
Bellator's
god.
gonna buy it. It's a lot of money, but
Dana's just gonna
Yeah, Dana's
away.
cashing out.
Oh my god.
Why
I
not?
don't see why not. I honestly don't think it's as big as it was, a few years back. If you can get 4 billion,
take it.
take it. Take it right now and run.
Holy crap, dude, that's insane.
You're
So-
set for 3 lifetimes.
The Nats are still up 1-0. Harper just ran into a double play, so he's been struggling a little bit. So why wouldn't you pitch to the guy? He's struggling.
Uh-huh.
So did you say everything?
I did.
Yeah,
All right.
we're
so join us again in 2 weeks at 6:45 for another episode. I think the coach will join back with that one.
Yeah.
good. Puck drop
So-
in 10 minutes.
Yep. Pucks drop 10 minutes. So 2 weeks we'll once again we'll either be finishing up Capitals talk or continuing it.
Right.
Always national talk. Rest in. See if any more mini camp. The mini camps that are
Any
going on now.
news?
Mhm.
Any injury news or anything. So and Monday, as always, check out OT3.
Go
And
Caps.
Paul will be returning with season 2 of Crazy Talk pretty soon.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, you can check out Paul with, what is it?
Go Caps.
Beat Squad for all your DJing needs.
All right, Mr. Promo Happy Guy.
I'm trying to help you out here.
Jeez.
All right. So, for myself, for Paul, for Chris, thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a good evening. And remember to subscribe to us and like our Facebook page.
See ya.
Let's go, Caps.
Go Caps! Unleash the Fury.